The EOS Cafe is an open community of EOS enthusiasts who love to talk about EOS and collaborate on EOS projects.
Nerds!
And if you're an especially epic nerd who can code in the C++ language, you'll be distributed an additional 10,000 beans. So if you're a smart developer who wants to build the Twitter of the blockchain, you could build that on EOS.
I got banned on Twitter for tongue pics.
Welcome everybody to the VOTU Podcast. Thanks for coming. So we're live with some of the guys from EOScafe. We have Freedom Engineer and Cy Jeffrey here.
Troy is a great name for me. Great to meet you, Beans.
You can just call me Saeed.
Well, first of all, I should ask you guys, what's the mission here?
The mission is all around collaboration. We're trying to create a collaboration platform in cyberspace and in the real world also. So we're trying to build out both at the same time. And people to collaborate specifically on building things on the EOS community blockchain.
Our goal here is to create physical cafes in the world promoting EOS.
So who'll be launching these cafes? Who'll be opening them?
That's a great question. And to tell you the truth, when I did the white paper and just threw it out there on Twitter, it was like, I have no freaking idea who's going to start the cafes, right? There's several different answers.
Does that mean basically anybody could build a cafe?
Yeah, we want to stick with the vision, hopefully stick with that the cafes are owned and guided by the DAC. So if you have Beans tokens, then you own a portion of these cafes. So if you were to start EOScafe or any cafe and just own it in your hometown and own it individually, well, if instead as a Beans token holder, you own portions of all the cafes together. So you're distributed around the world instead of just one owner here, one owner here, one owner here. It's a community.
We're going to work with multiple block producers. The first one that we're contracting with is like the Canada BP that we're contracting with, and every block producer will pay 10% of their revenue to the EOScafe DAC. Cafe DAC build cafes around the world, doing community building for the BPs as the block producers. So it's a very consensual relationship between block producers and EOScafe that we're trying to build here. And the money that
producers, are they producing EOS or are they producing blocks on Beans?
Beans is just a smart contract on the EOS blockchain.
So the block producers are EOS block producers.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me and Troy are not going to be the heads. We're going to sit around and be like, hey, we should build one cafe in Seoul. We should build one in Lagos, Nigeria. Let's build one in Shanghai. Money is going to go to a worker. It's going to go to a worker proposal fund that holders of Beans will vote on. People around the world can be like, hey, we want to take the charge on building a cafe in Lagos, Nigeria. So
have you thought about like incentives for people to start their own cafes?
Yeah, so if people have existing cafes, somebody in Florida has been in touch with us saying, hey, I have 2 cafes and how do we roll this into EOScafe? And like, we're not sure how we're going to do that yet, but yeah, that's a possibility. People with cafes existing want to collaborate. I had an inkling, but I didn't really know how prevalent it was. These digital spaces, collaboration spaces that are being funded by cryptocurrency. So we kind of want to work with these people. And if they already have a space built or if they want to build a space, then we can work with these people to have a win-win. They basically get a truckload of beans. Would that be correct to say? Am I saying anything? Just my partner here should
delivered by truck. That's what that means.
Yeah, and it's not just people in the physical location. There's prominent people in the blockchain space that are kind of moving over to EOS and becoming believers in EOS. They see the writing on the wall. It's like, okay, EOS is better than Ethereum possibly, and better than Bitcoin possibly.
Yeah,
when I say possibly, I mean 100% for sure. But I just
more than like
hedge my bets. So yeah, we're looking for content creators to come over to EOScafe, and the first ones would be rewarded more.
It's probably important not to confuse everyone that we have 2 different types of beans that we're talking about here.
We're not tokenizing beans into billion pieces and distributing her throughout the world. Although I think everybody would want a piece of beans with a Z, right? I'm sure You have lots
No,
of
this is
fans.
beans with an S.
Also the coffee bean, right? Are you named after the coffee bean? Or are you like named after the soya bean? Or
The
what kind of
orange
bean are
ones.
you?
The ginger ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to hodl and covet beans before EOS blockchain launches, then you'd have to have a BitShares account.
Keep it Larimer.
Name and how much beans they own, or keep it Larimer.
Keep it Larimer.
Dan the man.
There is a crypto cafe in Dublin. I've met the guys who are running it, and I would love to, introduce this idea to them. They're not developers or anything. They're just running a cryptocurrency. They got lucky in the recent pump and they decided, you know what, let's open a crypto cafe since we made this money from cryptocurrency and we want to open a cafe. They accept like Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash. They're not accepting EOS. They're using Coinbase as their main wallet for taking payment for coffees and stuff. It's because really that they're still learning.
Well, that's one of the problems, right? Like with running a cafe, let's say you're taking Bitcoin Cash, that's 10 minutes you're waiting per block time. And with Ethereum, like you don't want to be standing there and all of a sudden now there's an ICO launching on the network and now you're waiting an hour to pay for your coffee.
Yeah.
And that's one of the cool things with EOS, that you can't get user adoption until you let people pay with it.
What do we already know about EOS and the transaction speed?
Originally it was 3 seconds, just like Steam. But had the new white paper drop on us, and we're doing blocks every half a second, so that allows us to have like 100% confirmation of irreversibility in a second.
Crazy BG has a question there. Is it communities you are wanting people to set up?
Yeah, we need people for a lot of stuff. People to entertain people on our Discord server. People to instigate meetups in their own city. People to say, hey, I want to open an EOScafe. I live in the problem. I'm guessing the first ones to be opened up will be in the developing world where the budget is like $1,000 a year for rent. I'm a big fan of starting there, but I'm not saying it's not going to start in Seoul, Korea first. Like who knows? We're going to have some fun, like having places compete with business plans and trying to start the first one and the second one and the third one. It'll be an ongoing competition.
There's a role for pretty much everyone, like not even just content creators. Like we're looking for marketing people, we're looking for designers, content creators, or even if you're technical, like we're starting to ramp up helping developers to collaborate in these spaces and build projects, dApps on the EOS platform. To recap, we need coders. If you like talking about EOS or something about in the EOS community, we'd love to have you as a host.
Coders, hosts, entertainers. Would you say community builders?
One of the things that we've started doing is provide resources for people who might be new to EOS, right? Like we have right now we have like a 6-point checklist, like go do this first, then this, just like as an intro, like a primer for people who are new to EOS, who want to learn more about what they want to do. And all of that stuff takes time, like curating stuff like that, moderating that stuff. Like a community will not succeed until you have active members in the community that are talking constantly and pretty much contributing to the success of the community.
Beans, you asked about community building. Yes to community building. We want to build, right now we're at 2,900 members of the Discord server. We want to build it out to 100,000 members. But we're growing fast because we're giving away beans, right? So we'll see what percentage of the. Okay, no, we're not giving away beans, but we're giving away beans, and
we're giving away beans. Beans with an S.
Yes, and basically whoever fills out the airdrop form gets 10,000 beans. So for information on that, for information and links to everything, you should go to EOS.cafe, and sign up for our airdrop if you want. But primarily, just come say hi in the Discord server. That's where we want all the action to happen.
I love the fact that we discussed spreading the beans around and everybody can get into beans. Oh man, it went on and on. It was a bad day for you.
EOS is open source software that will be launched by the EOS community this June. You can find out more about EOS on the website at EOS.io.
EOS.